it's Rhea. Wherever you are, and whatever time it is, I hope you are enjoying yourself. So on my ongoing, nearly done quest to finish my sketchbook, today we are doing a bit of a throwback to a challenge I did in the past where I'm drawing something using all my supplies in a single color. So you may have saw the red page just now, so we will be doing the corresponding page for this, which is pink. So I have my basic sketch done with the palette color Eno, and I'm now going to be going over that with a friction point knock pin in pink. And while I do that, I guess I can explain a little bit about this challenge, if you will. So first off, I'm not sure why I decided to do this, but it was definitely the main reason finishing my sketchbook took so freaking long. Basically, towards the end of my sketchbook, I wanted to do this similar challenge with every basic color one can think of. So we ended up with 10 pages of monochromatic mini illustrations, and it was quite the feat. It might look cool, but I'm definitely glad it's over because I did that thing where it's like, you know, and this is why I want to probably stop doing this in next sketchbook, but like when you assign a certain theme to a page or something because at the time you think it's fun, but then you get to it later on and you just don't feel like doing it, or like it, not even that you don't feel like doing it, but it's like you feel more hesitant to do it. That's what I ran into a lot. So while I initially thought that, you know, starting this challenge and creating it towards the end of my sketchbook would have me finish it really quickly, it just prolonged it a lot longer, and especially because I guess like how it's set up with me, it's like literally back-to-back pages, so it's all in order. They're all squared off with washi tape to create like this consistent border. So yeah, I don't know why I did all of that, or it just ended up working against me. I've actually already done this in the past with the color red, and it's different than the page shown at the beginning. Like it was an actual video on my channel, so it's probably one of my only prints. I don't even know if anyone would want to buy it now or anything, but I do still really like it. I've been thinking heavily on like turning these illustrations into like a cleaner digital version and maybe making them into like a little mini print series, kind of like what I did with the initial one. But I'm not really sure if people would be interested or not. It's kind of a cute idea, like a little color enthusiast series, I don't know. Because like each of the drawings that I do features a character surrounded by things I associate with the themed color. And I guess that's where I get nervous on making them prints, because I don't know if other people will think that the theme is on par to what they associate these colors with or not. I'd want at least more than half of people to look at the drawing and be like, yeah, okay, that's blue vibes. That's yellow vibes, that's pink vibes, you know? I've also thought of maybe doing a simple sticker or keychain version as a soft launch, and then if people like it, maybe going with an illustration too. Or should I do that the other way around? Like, I don't know. This is why I've always been so bad at taking forever to open up a shop, to be honest. It's gonna be the death of me. But for pink, again, a brief flash of supplies that I'll be using so I don't have to like spend forever putting them in the description, and I'm also just starting to mix them. But yeah, so we have this character with really fun hair, lots of bows everywhere, rocking this fishnet top, which for the sake of this video, I guess this character is masculine presenting in the case that their tiny chest buttons are showing and YouTube starts breathing down my neck over it. They also have some cute fluffy leg warmers and a headband. I don't know, the vibes just feel so girly pop and fun, and that's just how I imagine pink. And that's not a gendered thing at all. I mean that in a very neutral way. Pink is such a fun statement color, and I think everyone should enjoy pink stuff. So we have some lollipops, cookies, a pink panda bear, pink lemonade, obviously, a pink bag, lastly a pink phone, and an instant camera, along with just, you know, again, all the bows, the hearts. Actually, I'm glad that I did the hearts for pink this time instead of red, because when I first did that old red illustration, I think I included hearts there, which, I mean, it's either or, but I guess I just wanted to switch it up this time. So yeah, everything's pink. And I feel like what makes this illustration style so challenging is that you learn what colors are the most popular in manufacturing. And what I mean by that is like, there's a lot, whenever it comes to pink, there's a lot of the same color, and it's like that for other colors too, but I think pink is very much like one of the most obvious ones. It's like always that like almost hot pink color that is consistent in every format. It's either a medium hot pink or it's a dark hot pink, but they're usually just hot pink, whether if it's marker, acrylic marker, etc. Pens, especially like ballpoint pens, And I think, oh, there's also highlighter pink. Yes, people really love highlighter pink. But the point is that they're all pretty much the same type of color, and it's hard to try to make an illustration with that. Well, and not get it lost in translation. The other thing is I'm not taking the time to colorproof these things because I'm kind of just like go, go, go. So if I were to do this as an actual traditional illustration that I want to come out like perfect and look great and not just doing it in my sketchbook, I would have done a mock-up either digitally or just did like a thumbnail version, which I did initially do, but it was very, very tiny, and also it was more about just getting the composition rather than like trying to see what the colors will end up looking like. So yeah, because I think those things, especially with a challenge like this, or basically just trying to do something monochromatic, it's important to kind of like visualize that and see what that's going to look like before you go ahead. But again, sketchbook, I'm just trying to finish it. And this was my last page that I had to do in the series, so yes. Using mediums that I have yet to be good at was another difficult part of this, and just kind of knowing how to layer all of them into coexistence that like will actually look good, because it's like I'm using multiple things. And on top of that, the main product that I would use, like the main art supply that I'd use to typically color this, I cannot use, and that is alcohol markers, because I do these colorful pages back to back. So when you flip through, it's literally like you go through like this little mini series, and alcohol markers bleed through. The paper that I'm using is not made for that, because I know there's some marker paper where it's like even if you color on it, it will not bleed through. That is not the case here. So I definitely had to be wary of that, and using any other mediums that might bleed through, making sure that I don't do that as well. So yeah, I was like, dang, I can't even use what I really want to use. But also another thing is like using slightly different hues but still having it read as the same color. That's a difficult thing. I think maybe like if I have at least 5 colors, I feel like I'm in a good range. I think I was kind of more in like the 3 colors range, maybe 4. It also depends on what supplies what color, and I'll kind of explain that later. But everything being the same color also means that you kind of have to hope that different values will save you in this as well. So like really utilizing that light pink, dark pink, making sure that there's like again values that you can see, because it kind of adds some proper contrast and make sure that things don't get lost in translation. But for this actual drawing, I wish I did better, but I think that's because one, I was really excited to do this spread, and unfortunately when I'm really hyped for something, it's really hard for me to execute it in a way that I like, because my love for it just, I don't know, it makes it more difficult, unfortunately. But the other thing is that I ended up doing this page last in the series that I did, so by the time I got to it, you would think I could go into it with like confidence of like, well, I did all the other pages, I even did some of the most way more difficult pages in this, so ideally or realistically I should be good, right? But no, I was very much struggling with this. I started out with the watercolors or inks first, and then I add to it with acrylic markers, and then I use colored pencils to try to define things a little bit better. Again, it's hard to see everything come together while you're in the moment of painting it or drawing it, you know, coloring it in, and that's why I recommend like doing some kind of test run to lay out the colors first, because again in the moment I'm like, I don't know, this kind of makes sense, and you kind of just have to like slowly add more and more to it, but you never know how it's going to turn out and if the colors are going to harmonize or not whenever it's all just in the moment. And unfortunately a lot of the colors that I'm using with the mediums that I can use, which is mostly acrylic marker, are quite similar, because even with me using both arrtx and posca, some of the colors are very similar to each other. There's only like a slight difference, and that's kind of my saving grace. The only place I have leeway with like the color range is using my acrylic gouache paint, which I'm still learning too much on how to use it to comfortably move forward painting most of it. So I didn't want to do all of it like that because I just wanted to finish the page and move on, to be honest. I wasn't trying to like test myself and see like, oh, can I get away with using acrylic gouache? I could towards the very small things that I wanted to test it on, but other than that, that's the benefit of using acrylic markers. It's that they're a little bit more straightforward and easy to use, simple. You just uncap them and start coloring, and you can fix things with them pretty easily. You'll see that I use this almost dark hot pink to cover the background, and I wish I kept it like how it initially is right now, because it's like that's that perfect magenta-esque like color that I imagined the spread being with, but because I do it with, I believe, watercolor. I have an ink that's very similar in color to this, that's why I was like, wait a second. But I use watercolor for the background first in like the holbein pink, and because it's going to be inevitably patchy, I'm like, okay, well, I have to go back over this in acrylic wash, and I don't think I have acrylic wash in that basic magenta hot pink color. I have magenta, and that's what I end up using on the background, but as you'll end up seeing, it ends up being quite darker than like super poppy. That's the thing, like how you first place something down. This is probably similar with other colors too, or like with other mediums. With acrylic wash, I've noticed it dries darker than how it initially looks. So yeah, I wish I could have used like that regular hot pink for the background, kind of like the color that I used on the bulk of the character's hair, which honestly the hair turned out looking cool as heck, if nothing else, because I was definitely thinking of Juicy from Hype Mic or Hypnosis Mic whenever I did that, and I regret nothing because it is cute. It is so cute and fun, truly. But I do regret that I didn't execute this character's skin better, or rather, like I wish I had a proper color for it. I've already said a major difficulty to this challenge is making sure the colors work together, and pink can be especially difficult with this. I've experienced this with whenever I'm using pink in digital art too. Sometimes, depending on the pinks you're using, the contrast is hard to get if it's like all the pinks are nearby each other, and there becomes a point where it's hard for the pink to look saturated anymore, or brighter, or like have this pop, depending on the colors it's surrounded by, like the other pinks it's surrounded by. So by the time I ended up coloring things around this character, they ended up looking rather flat skin tone wise. I wish I could have looked for some kind of hyper pink, but my only saving grace was using a mild liner over their skin and kind of hoping that the fluorescence would save things. I don't fully enjoy how it turns out, but at least afterwards you can tell that the skin is actually pink and not some off beige. You can see even before that I keep trying to go in with my Pilot Color Eno because I know that's a pink. It's a pretty obvious pink looking pink, and so I was like, okay, yeah, this should work. It didn't really like convey things because all the other colors it was surrounded by. So again, it's quite an interesting challenge. You learn a lot about how colors interact with each other. Honestly, it'll get to a point where I skip filming the troubleshooting details, and then next thing you know, we're just to the finishing touches. For right now, I think the part of the process, I'm still trying to like color in each individual item lightly, and then you'll see me whip out the acrylic wash, and that's when we get to painting the background with that pink I was talking about. And I believe it took me 3 individual times to go over it in order to get like that solid background look. And truly I wish I had this color in acrylic marker, because anytime I have to do a solid background like this, I love using acrylic markers for this. It's simple, it's easy, and it's, you know, I don't have to like struggle too much. With this, it was alright, but again, just holding a marker and coloring stuff in, iconic. Hard to beat. While this one doesn't become my favorite, I do think it was a fun challenge, and I wonder how I might rework it as a digital version. Like, should I keep the hair? Because I'm thinking it might be fun to give them spiral curls instead, but we'll see. So yeah, stay tuned for when I go over these pages in my sketchbook. I still have to break into my new one, but I'll probably do that in early June. But have you guys tried doing this challenge or like something similar to this? Because it was quite the popular challenge back then. At first, I was going to say one of my favorite YouTube artists did this challenge, but I checked now and it was technically like the emoji challenge where you make art from emojis, but she chose all pink emojis, so it's kind of similar. I don't know. If you haven't watched ravee Titan's videos, I strongly recommend them. I don't think she's posted in a while, but I love her art and her art style and her traditional work. I just always found it so inspiring. And I actually just checked now while talking about it to see like what happened with her going inactive and stuff like that. She has fallen ill. I'm not sure what her condition is currently, but again, I will still leave her channel down in the description for you to check out, because even if she's not able to post again, I definitely think you guys should check her out because there's just so many fun, precious, like, content that she's made. She has a fun personality, and I love her art, and also you get to see her cats. Actually, I was wondering about if I should try the emoji challenge, because I'm down to just do simple videos like all summer if anyone is interested. Like, is that the vibe? I feel like it should be, because we're all likely going to be trying to stay afloat and survive the warmer weather, or colder if you're in Australia, and just kind of do something simple and fun might be nice. So yeah, definitely let me know on what the vibe is. I might try and use that new poll option you can use on videos. There was also another page that I do in this mini-series that I was going to turn into a video, but it's actually just going to end up being a reel. So yes, but with that, there's only one sketch page left, and I hope you will accompany me for when I tackle it. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed your time here today, you can let me know by leaving a like. If you're interested to see more of my content, you can check out my other videos and subscribe. For reference, if you're new, I'm Raea or Etheria, and I like making art and art-related content on my channel. While I try to at least post bi-weekly, if you'd like more frequent posts or like to see other art, you can always follow me on Blue Sky, Tumblr, maybe Instagram. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you a nice rest of your day and or week. Take care.